Good morning and welcome back to another episode of 10 a.m. Tea with Natalie. It is 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and I am back again today to talk to you guys a little bit more about what exactly is acupuncture. Yesterday, I kind of started off by comparing acupuncture to Western medicine and kind of that it is not considered standard care and that it's considered complementary alternative medicine, kind of in that category over there. Today I'm going to kind of get into where acupuncture kind of starts from. So it was kind of first documented, but this is before written history, 6,000 BCE. So this is super, super ancient stuff. It originated in China and then it spread kind of across Asia. And it was used for every health condition at that time. So it's really a complete medical system in that way. It evolved before laboratory testing. It evolved before x-rays. What's actually really interesting is that acupuncture was learned on the living. Western medicine was learned on the dead. It was done with, looking at the body after it had passed away, doing the autopsy. Medical students today in the Western tradition continue to study dead bodies to learn about life. Little kind of twisted if you think about it that way. In Chinese culture, it was actually forbidden to cut into a dead body. That was considered sacred. There was no such thing as dissection. So there was no knowledge of internal anatomy when the acupuncture tradition was kind of beginning. And so that's something that's been added on as time has evolved, but it is not necessarily considered in the same aspect that we do. Western and Eastern are not kind of on the same page there. They are in some ways, but then in other ways they are not. It's used for mental health, physical health, and spiritual health, as I mentioned before. And we diagnose by looking and smelling and touching and temperature and tongue and looking at your tongue coat, looking at how your tongue looks, feeling your pulse. We don't need to have, your white blood cell count necessarily to know where to start when we're looking at care. Also, it's important to realize that acupuncture has a lot of different traditions in the Eastern sense. So the Japanese people adopted acupuncture and Chinese medicine for their own purposes, and so there's Japanese style acupuncture. The Koreans did the same, and so there's Korean style acupuncture, there's Thai style acupuncture. Vietnam did it their own way too. So there's a lot of different traditions that are all kind of going on at the same time. And depending on where a provider studied and where they kind of did their continuing education, they may have done some educational experiences abroad. You can get a variety of different experiences in acupuncture land with different providers and different educational backgrounds there. So there's a lot of really cool things going on. So that's kind of a little bit about where acupuncture came from. The very first acupuncture needle actually was a sharpened stone, they believe, that was kind of used not necessarily as like an acupuncture needle. They kind of used bones and things much smaller for that, but to kind of just cut open abscesses and things. Kind of very primitive medicine. When you get this giant oozy pussy thing, it's probably a good idea to cut that shit out, right? So that's kind of where things began in that way. So I hope that you found this to be a little bit interesting. Make sure that you tune back in tomorrow. Let's check what the notes say I'm going to be talking about then. Ooh, who may have been the first acupuncturists? That's going to be what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And a little bit about where the roots of Chinese medicine come from as well. Because we need to kind of really understand the background in order to understand what we're doing in the treatment room. So I hope that you have an awesome day. Make sure you tune back in again tomorrow, 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook Live. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up for the newsletter on the left-hand side of the biz page. Newsletter sign up, click it, enter in your stuff, and I will make sure to shoot you the newsletter every Monday. I hope you have an awesome week. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern for 10 a.m. Tea with Natalie. Drink a glass of water, and I will see you soon. Take care.